Hello, hello. Iltapäiviä. Thanks for resub, Ugreno. Hello. Actually, I'll have to still fill in my water bottle, so I'll do that real quick here. Click that button there and start playing. I probably won't stream for too long today anyways, since I started so late again. But at least 2 hours, probably like 2.5 hours. Maximal 3 hours. What a series against Clem on ESL. I literally cried at the end. Well, I'm not sure what the crying was for, but that was a nice series for sure. At least for me. Päivää palkintokarjoja, kiitos. Tears of Joy. Fair enough. I wasn't quite that emotional myself, but I was pleased with the result at the very least. I'm doing fine, SC2 Chung. You should make a CVP guide. I mean, there are like million CVP guides already, which are pretty accurate. Much hasn't changed, to be honest, in the matchup, for the most part. But yeah, also I'm not too into making guides. I like to keep my little details to myself for the most part. But obviously I could do like an overall guide, I guess. Moi. Thanks for resub, Joe Progan. What other RTS do you play? Nothing really. I mean, I did play AoE for a decent amount, but mainly team games. And but I haven't been playing too much lately. The team games in that game are kinda dead, I felt like last times I played, so I haven't been playing them too much. Hello, Steadfast. That second gamer is Oli was unreal. Was it? I did see your title already. Your YouTube title, but to be honest, I thought I was dead for the whole game because the start was absolute garbage, but yeah, I guess it was a back and forth game after that. I didn't really check the game afterwards. Maybe I was losing for the most and then got like a couple. You were left for the whole game. Yeah, that's what I figured. Or the opponent said. What unit comp matchup is the most fun to play? I don't know. I don't really know, that's a hard question. Will this be a positivity stream? All of my streams are supposed to be positivity streams, but sadly StarCraft is it's a pretty frustrating game, to be honest, so usually it goes pretty badly when the mistakes start happening. Probably Blink's like a disruptor. Yeah, I mean that could be like a decently fun thing to play against, I guess. I also have fun style to play, but at the same time, I'm not sure. What is the ideal sauna temperature? I don't know. I never really watched the temperature. How do you say that word? I don't watch it too much. I just go when it's warm and throw water and leave when it starts doesn't feel good anymore. Don't really follow how warm it is there. Winning every game and still saying you do everything wrong. I do lose quite a lot, to be honest there. Temperuhtur. Fair enough. Still 7k, not too bad. Showtime coming in with his low MMR account there. It's stealing all my points. That sounds like an electric sauna. Well, yeah, at home there is an electric sauna indeed, but even if I go to I don't know, is it a wood sauna or whatever? I mean, it's the same thing. I don't really do anything differently there. It's exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing, even in that case. These always are a bit weird. I guess I just forgot to send it across. I have to say, getting my natural down makes me happy already. Just with the regular opening. That's a good way to start. I could even try to go get a bit weird here with the openings already with this. I kind of like to try the... No, not gonna do a high link drop here. But I do want to try maybe some kind of 2-base opening here. We'll see what I'll decide to do. Okay, double chrono there. It's a bit late with the OV obviously there, so didn't actually see it was double chrono instantly, but doesn't really make a major difference. I'm gonna make 6 links there actually for this. Just to play it really safe. Did he actually not move out with the second adept? It's quite interesting.
Metamorphosis complete.
Well, this is just starting to be a two-base Hydra build here now, to be honest.
Our forces are under attack.
We have 3 gases here, which is quite something. How about I just make a spire? And a Hydra then. This is just some Mika builds here, to be honest. Okay, he did see the spire there, pretty sure. Okay, in that case... I'm thinking what should I commit for here?
Our forces are under attack. Evolution complete.
Let's see what he has.
Forces are under attack. Our forces are under attack.
I'm kind of feeling the mutas there. I wonder, did he not see the mutas? The spire? Then we follow this up with a Hydra push actually.
The hive cluster is under attack.
This is actually something amazing.
Our forces are under attack. The hive cluster is under attack.
Okay, I'm just hoping he doesn't make disruptors, because that would be a bit of an problem for me. Oh my gosh, that was bad.
Our forces are under attack.
Hmm.
Our forces are under attack. Our forces are under attack.
I should have actually thrown up a little bit. I'm still gonna do it, but this is actually not expanding. It's actually not expanding whatsoever here.
Mineral field depleted.
Love to push, but it's pretty tough to push into a 3-base pros. I'll tell you that much. Well, I mean, disruptors are gonna be a big problem here, no question about it. Just gonna have these to counter. No, actually, it's really Stalker heavy. Maybe my Lurker timing, even without any upgrades, could actually have some potential. Oh no, he's actually going Colossus here. Which is pretty good for me, to be honest. Oh my gosh, he actually found that. That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's really annoying.
Our forces are under attack.
If only I had my Lurker upgrades, I wouldn't hate it too much. That's why I'm going for the second Lurker then here, just to get those upgrades as fast as they're possible.
Evolution complete. Mineral evolution.
That's a really small army actually.
The hive
It's just sad that I gave him all this time. If a hive was a bit faster.
evolution. Our forces are under attack. Mutation complete. Evolution complete.
Bit faster on that little
Cluster is
tech of mine.
forces complete. Our forces are under attack. Our forces are under attack.
I'm gonna dive on that actually here.
The hive cluster is under attack. Our forces are under attack. The hive forces are under attack. Metamorphosis complete. The hive cluster is under attack.
Oops. Oh my. That was unfortunate.
Mineral field depleted.
I still don't have my Lurker upgrades, which make pushing into him freaking impossible.
Metamorphosis complete. Metamorphosis. Our forces are under attack. Mineral. Our forces are under attack. The hive cluster is under attack. Our forces are under attack. Our forces are under attack. Our forces
It's actually not too bad of a strat, obviously, actually here. It's a bit hard to push now, that's for sure.
complete.
Oops, it's a bit off position.
Mutation. Our forces are under attack.
Oh, there's a super battery there actually that I didn't spot. Let's try to kill that. Oh, that was really bad.
Our forces are under attack.
It seemed like I killed the prism at some point. I wonder, does he have a Skytoss transition? Because I'm making freaking True Lords now. I don't think he would be that rich, to be honest. At the same time, he never had any units, so wouldn't surprise me. No. No transition here. Should be just over with these brutes in that case. I'm surprised how good the Colossi here is kind of picking my stuff from 55 million meters away. Probably gonna base trade here. Oops. Nice stuff there. Wasn't actually that bad of a build even what I did there. I would have died to Clave obviously or something, but it wasn't that terrible. It was one of the better 2-base builds. Normally those builds completely fall flat on their faces. Thanks for the raid SC2 Ranger. Showtime started his proc same time as Serral. Yeah, Showtime was around from the start. I still remember. Well, I don't remember myself playing against Showtime, but I remember my brother playing against Showtime on Selnaka. What's the Selnaka map? The one of the very first ones. The Selnaka something. Selnaka. I don't remember. The map that had a really open second base. From the very beginning. So he has been playing from the very start. But so I have. So have I. Who is Bill Gates? Never heard of this nickname. I was expecting Serral would play Diablo 4 today. I'll probably play Diablo 4 at some point, but yeah, I mean, I'm not really rushed into play games ever. We played quite a few times, did we? I don't remember playing against you, Ply. Well, I mean, obviously I probably played every once in a while, but can't remember. I don't have any very memorable moments from early times against you. I mean, that would have been stayed in my memory. Wait, did he block me even? Or did I just accidentally make the base there? Or is the Protoss just idling there? I'm not sure, I didn't really pay attention. No, I haven't finished Zelda yet. I have only taken the first of the 4 down. Whatever those things are. 1 out of 4. No, I don't think he even scouted. I just took that base. 6-0 record against. Is that in tournaments or later games? Or what is that? Tournaments. Oh, you're talking about tournaments. I mean, then I can see. I was talking mainly about the ladder stuff. Just like well, I mean, I was talking in general playing. Oh, in Nexus first, actually. I'm not really paying any attention here. Wait, did he block me or what happened here? I don't think he blocked me. He's already mining the back out. I feel like I could just link farm him. Well, I could have, but obviously like right now it's a bit late. Now it's a bit late, I should have done it before. Oh, it's one of these kind of builds. This is like a Astra build. I mean, it could be Astria, it's not completely out of the picture. Never heard of this player. I actually wonder, where does Astria play? Does he play the European server, or what does he... I feel like I never played against him. Or maybe he just plays with the account, I don't know. Off. Not a shabby build, but yeah, Link Flood would have been good here for sure. Well, it would have been an auto win, to be exact. But I am playing from behind her. There's no question about that. I would at least imagine so. If he isn't ahead here, his build isn't very good. But it's possible. It's completely possible. It's just not a good build. It's not something that... No, that's okay. That much damage for one Oracle. That much damage for that much damage for one drone, I mean. I'm interested how bad or good the early game is for me here. I don't really know what he's doing still, which is a bit annoying. I think Svarmos could be a good call here. Well, actually, never mind. It's a terrible call now that I think about it. Just gonna be a Lingbane here. Ravager Lingbane, the usual. See if I can kill him with that timing. Some sort of a timing here. Or is he just gonna kill me with something? Again, this game is a bit of a mystery just because how the openings went. It's a very uncomfortable spot for me, to say at very least. I'd like to know how many gases he has though, that's for sure. Oh, is that in gases? He's just going Skydos, or what is this? Yeah, I think Svarmos would have been actually the free win choice actually after all. Because I don't think it's Skydos, it's just... No, it is Skydos. But then Svarmos wouldn't have been as good. This is quite the match. My opponent's playing really strange. But I think I'm in a terrible spot. Cancel that. I think I'm just gonna die with the carriers actually. And try to poster a little bit aggressively on the outer side. Oh, he's actually playing straight in. Oh, I had my infestation bit so late. I'm really dead here. I was just so confused what he was doing. Now it's obviously game over at this point. There's literally nothing I can do. He can just like I just don't have high step in time. That's like the problem. I'm gonna go ultras here, but since they're a bit faster than rulers, but oh, he's actually making void rays, which is really good for me because that's kind of just a weaker unit compared to more carriers. I make 3 infestors for the cloud. Actually, it doesn't look too bad anymore. A moment ago it looked absolutely awful, but now it's just okay. It's still possible I will just die to the first timing, but we'll see, I guess. We'll see, I guess. Because I don't really have the best solutions for anything here. Yeah, his army is actually not very good. I'm surprised. I'm surprised he didn't make more carriers. He ended up making void rays. But late games are not too bad here. These corruptors are kind of pointless. A lot of the stuff I'm doing is there because I wasn't sure what to do exactly, so I'm just doing a little bit of everything. Which is exactly what you don't want to do, but whatever.
Our forces are under attack. Evolution complete. Mutation complete. Our forces are under attack. Mutation complete.
Oops. It's not too bad.
Complete.
Kinda just want to know what he has, to be honest. Like, does he have Archons there? It really looks like he has no Archons. Who the hell is this? There's no way he pushes me. Successfully, at least. Okay, there are the High Templars. Keep getting upgrades here. Keep getting those upgrades.
The hive cluster is under attack. Evolution complete. Our forces are under attack.
His army does look kinda crap the more I look at it. I'm actually just gonna make a lot of corruptors already. Don't necessarily have to make them just yet, but let's get those.
Mineral. Our forces are under attack.
I genuinely think if we actually hit a strong timing here with this opening, I literally couldn't have held it, but instead he was making like void rays and all kind of crap. So now it's actually not half bad for me. Oops. Let's kill that first. Oh, actually I didn't kill any of them now because of that. It's kinda dumb. My army isn't really what I would like it to be, but at the same time it's really not terrible against what he has. Need creep here. Could even bring some spores. To be honest, I could bring like heaps of spores here. Oops, that was bad. Okay, he's actually... Yeah, it seems like he's just trying to get a Doom army here now. Oh my gosh. Like he's already stopping mining pretty much here. So I'm actually gonna do kind of the same thing here, just add more and more corruptors. Just kinda hope he doesn't make Archons, to be honest, because if he makes Archons, well, then I kinda would like True Lords. Yeah, it's still a pretty crappy army actually. Yeah, these queens are not ideal, that's for sure. Now he has Immortals actually, it's annoying. There's a little bit of movement here. I can still beat those Immortals, I think. It's not a big problem. Ooh. Yeah, I'm just gonna... Oh, he actually found a weak spot there, because I just moved all these out of there. Yeah, he kinda did kill all of his own probes, so that was a weird decision at very least. So now he's kind of forcing himself to attack. I'm not sure what he was doing here, to be honest. This game was relatively easy for him if he played it a little bit properly. His start was so good on paper, at least. Obviously, maybe his build wasn't greatest. That was possible. I already made a lot of links because I did smell. It's always the zealots or whatnot after. I'm gonna play the bit slow here actually, so I don't throw, just get a couple rulers. Check if he keeps going air toss or if he does take out of it. No, he's going Tempest actually. Well, I like the brutes in that specific situation a lot. Just maybe a couple extras even, so I don't lose all my anti-crown. Okay, bit much maybe there. It forced a battery overcharge there, so that's really not bad. Yeah, I mean his army is absolute garbage. I mean maybe he can play on top of batteries with this, but that's about it. Doesn't seem like he has enough to actually one-shot my stuff yet, so it can be a bit annoying here. Now he's probably getting the Tempest numbers up. Only 3 still by the looks of things. Oh, now he has more. Oops. Oh, there goes one. I mean, if I can just get a good fight here, it shouldn't be too hard. The thing is that he never expanded, like, he hasn't expanded like 10 minutes or... And that should be good enough. Oops. Well, this is terrible. I mean, it doesn't make a difference. The game's completely over. I can literally mess up everything. Well, can I? Maybe I can't literally mess up F, so that was the worst fight I've ever taken. But, yeah, that was actually like literally the worst fight you could have taken there. No, I actually... Oh my god, I have wailing speed. Okay, luckily I have link speed, so... I might have actually find a way to lose this, which is absolutely hilarious, but I don't think I'm still gonna lose. I can just make fruits there, and that should win me the game. Should still be good enough, but I mean... I lost that fight so bad. If I played a little bit better, I wouldn't have lost a single unit, but... Now I ended up losing everything, so... Did I lose... Oh my god, I actually know... On the air. The crew lords are kinda naked. Thank god those ultras are dying. This is actually really close. This is so bad. I actually think I lost. Because he can just make Archons, heaps of Archons. I don't really have a solution for that. Like, I literally, if he just, cause he doesn't really mine anything, but it's just a problem that he can just, they were like the biggest throw ever. Verse was like the biggest throw by him, but then it was an absolute massive throw by me to follow it up. Yeah, you can see he's just making Archons, that's all he's doing.
Mineral field depleted.
I need Bailings. Well, actually his army's kinda crap.
Our forces are under attack. The hive cluster. Our forces are under attack. The hive cluster is under attack.
It's a bad game. There's still a freaking thing there as well. This game was actually so incredibly over. I literally just stopped trying for a moment. It almost lost me the game, that mistake. Well, I got a bit too cocky, I guess. Okay, he doesn't even have that.
Mineral field. Our forces are under attack. The hive cluster is under attack. The hive cluster. Our forces are under attack. Our forces.
It's actually a lot of stuff. But this, I mean, like, he doesn't actually have any ecop, but he's just making Archons. And the Archons are like the best unit you can make here. I did kill all the Tempest, I'm not sure why I'm not making. Did I kill all the Tempest? I can't remember anymore. Okay, I'm actually might be... This is pretty close.
Cluster is under attack. Lesbian guys are exhausted. Mineral field depleted. Our forces are under attack.
Luckily he's sacking all those things all the time, so that is some... He's actually making a lot of stuff still. Ooh, this is quite a dumb game. Oh, he does have still that. I love how he isn't killing any of my bases. Oops, he actually came back to the fruits. This is really good for me, obviously. I did lose a lot of drones because I didn't think he would actually come back to the next to the fruits there, but... Okay, he's getting Tempests, which makes sense. He has a lot of stuff, to be honest. I mean, if I ate True Lords, it would be obviously really easy, but... Okay, that's down at least. This game is a proper mess. I lost my bailingness, that would be actually quite useful here.
The Hive cluster is under attack.
I'm kind of worried to make more Pro Lords just because I do feel like he can have like a couple anti-air units. Let's see if I can take this fight a little bit. Okay, I couldn't. But his army is getting really small now, to be honest. And it seems like he isn't actually getting any. Just gonna get some infestors. How many do I have of those?
The Hive cluster is under attack.
Wait, why are my investors going back? Yeah, I mean, this game was a freaking mess if I have ever seen one. Oh my gosh. That was tragic. What was his build even, to be honest? That was a massive throw by him initially, but... Well, I think it was like he was really far ahead. I think he could have just killed me. I was so indecisive in the mid game. Did he even block me, or did I just make the hatchery there for the sake of it? No, he literally didn't even block me. But yeah, then I obviously threw it really hard in the mid game, at the one point. And it's not really me throwing it at that point even. I still could have recovered if I didn't make 10 ultras. If I just remade my Pro Lords, made NTR, I would have still won really easily. There was like 5 throws in a row. Yeah, his probe count's really high here for sure. He's making the bacon there. Obviously would have died to everything with this build. It was like the greatest build I've ever seen. Yeah, with this build I can't. I actually even made +1. I could have checked that one. Would have known a bit earlier. I mean, if he makes like 6 carriers, there's literally nothing I can do. Like, if it just hits like +2 timing, I'm just completely dead. With like, I mean, he could probably even have like 9 carriers for that, couldn't he? Maybe just 6. 6 carriers and Archons under it, there's literally nothing I could have done in this game. Instead he made a Void Race, I'm not sure why. I guess he just blind counter that I was gonna do like a Corrupt roll in or something, so he made like Void Race, but that was obviously a terrible call by him. Yeah, the game was completely over there. Then I messed up really big. Well, we are doing it for the content. Thanks to Resub Soldark 1690 and Scoopy Serra for the resub as well. Six four, interesting. Who is it? I have no clue. Bill Gates. I mean, that was like an Astria build. The fast. Didn't Astria do it against Raynor in like Katowice? Not exactly that build probably, but obviously follow-up was completely different, but he played like fast 3 Nexi. Oh, it's Harsem? No, I guess that makes sense as well. But who's Astria? He's exactly who he is. Do you practice with Oliveira still after I am? We play every once in a while. Can we see your fingers playing? I don't think a finger camera is that's a great idea. Show them the finger workouts. No clue what you're talking about now. But I have to say, I do have more muscular fingers than the average StarCraft pro for sure. I'm not the fastest, but my fingers do click the buttons with a lot of force. I did get blocked this time at least, so my hatchery is there where it should be. I've never seen with fingers like Yona, indeed. Indeed. Let's see here. Coupling usually plays Stalkers into Disruptors, if I recall correctly. So just Ravagerling Bane should do the job. Very comfortably.
Our forces are under attack.
Well, I guess a Ravagerling Bane kinda does the job always in this matchup anyways. Only if the Protoss makes Sky units you wouldn't really play that comp. The fingers themselves don't have muscles, do they? I have no clue what you're talking about, but pretty sure that is incorrect. In my case, at least. Okay, let's see here. We need double chrono. Okay, I'll have to make that. I have to make that as well. That's already awful. It doesn't get much worse than that. But it's okay. It's not the worst. I'm used to way worse early games. Already expanding. I could have made a chunk of links there, but let's let him take the base, whatever. Oh, that's really bad actually. Wait, what? What should I do here? That's actually really annoying. That's terrible. I have no clue where my obis are flying now. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Really? A 2-minute Nexus and this... They are really playing with fire here. Second game in a row. Well, this is a terrible start, but that's what I'm always kind of have crappy starts. Kind of have always crappy starts anyways. And it's just getting worse and worse. Oh, actually if that queen was hotkeyed. Oh my gosh. What was that queen move? That oracle movement. Okay, a lot of scouting this game, I like it. 50 builds I would die to, but let's have 3 oracles at least, so that is something. Oh my god, I'm mispositioning again. And what's going on here? I'm getting notifications everywhere. Supply blocked. This is just going worse and worse all the time. Oh, that wasn't too bad, but I'm gonna lose that Ovid and it gets pretty bad. What an horrible start. I wonder if he took a base. Interesting that he takes that base. I feel like the Ultra one would have been so much better in this specific scenario. I don't think he even knows where my fort is. He probably thinks this is my fort. Yeah. Just making those. Making a lot of units here. See if we can cancel this base.
The hive cluster is under attack.
What? Kill the freaking thing.
The hive cluster is under attack.
Well, this game just didn't make any sense. How does it have so little?
Our forces
Like, I feel like I had such a terrible start, but the game is just completely over already. We're going gases at least. No. Taking zealots. I'm gonna dive on it, kind of shit decision, but why not?
our forces are under attack.
We have only 3 gases actually. I'm actually gonna go up to 5 here.
Metamorphosis complete.
I'm gonna drone up a little bit more. I'm actually gonna go up to 6 gases here. I'm gonna drone up like a couple more and then I just do my switcheroo. A couple bailings just in case he has zealots. But yeah, I think I can just A-move him here soon.
Our forces are under attack.
Okay, he's for sure tanking a big attack somewhere with zealots.
Field. Metamorphosis complete.
Okay, that's okay.
Metamorphosis.
Stay traps annoying, but it doesn't really do much to be honest. I don't think he can push her anyways.
Under mineral field depleted.
Don't see a status trap, but could be one I guess.
Are under attack.
Get hive here as well actually. Make those.
Mutation.
Very interesting game though.
Our forces are under attack. Evolution complete.
See if he can find this trap somehow.
Unacceptable command.
Okay, I found all the traps at least for now. Oops. Okay,
Mutation.
I'm actually gonna kill that base.
Our forces are under attack.
Go as long as he uses super battery and then I pull back.
Mineral field depleted.
Okay, his whole army is there.
Our forces are under
Oh, he doesn't even... Oh, he actually has... He's going Archons now, but... I still believe I should just kill him here with this second timing. It's just Stalkers with couple Archons. It's not too hard to beat, to be honest. Couple Veilings here and send the Roaches on the other side and then I just send it. Check for traps. There is one trap there actually. Let's see if we can... Jesus. And my Veilings weren't hotkeyed. Oh, he actually didn't even make gases. Actually a terrible attack. See if we can kill the base at least. That's been kind of bad to be honest.
mineral field depleted.
Really like having Atraling 40% attack speed. Let's just call it that.
Evolution complete. Mutation.
Actually no supply whatsoever. Just all my queens in one hotkey.
Unacceptable command. Evolution complete. Our forces are under attack. Our forces
Get those upgrades going.
are under attack.
I mean, easily good enough.
Unacceptable command.
My Queen Simon hotkey, I don't like it too much anymore. Actually does have a good chunk of stuff there, not gonna lie. Nah, never mind, it's not as much as I thought. These 3 Archons though. 5 Archons actually, with good upgrades as well. Oh, a terrible fight. Oops. Terrible fight, but yeah, obviously the game has been over for a good while. I just played it pretty poor, to be honest. Poorly. Pretty poorly. Actually, I don't have much eco here. I have 80 drones, to be honest. This just feels like they don't give me any money somehow. Like no gases as well, but somehow I just don't have any money to play with. A couple of Bailings there. Bailings are the core to infinite amount of Zealots. Pretty annoying force field he got there with that accidentally. Oh, actually, I did micro a little bit there. Yeah, start was absolutely horrific, to be honest. I just had no pressure somehow. I mean, fine. I mean, I guess it's just maybe okay. Up to 6 gate, 5 gateways here. 6 minutes in the game timer already here, and there's barely anything interesting. But yeah, at this point the game was already over, to be honest. After I killed the fort base the first time, I don't think he could even win that. What was your upgrades? I mean, I had 2-2 for a very long time, and then I started 3-3, but I'm not sure if it finished both attack upgrades. He had way better upgrades. He had +3, I think, attack. Actually, did he? I'm not sure. I think he had like +3 attack, 1 armor, and 2 shields. I did have ranged attack upgrade. Wait, who's this? Oh. How should I play it here? Oops, accidentally made it around there. Just a little gastric. Since I accidentally went 14 out of 14. see here. What is the opponent doing? Well, I guess mainly just is it Stargate or non-Stargate. Let's try to not lose absolutely everything in the early game. Might just make a lot of links, to be honest, against the double adept. Maybe just counter pressure with them after them. Let's not lose the OB as usual. Lose it more than I don't lose it. This shade still has less range than a normal unit, right? Feel like it got buffed at some point, but maybe I'm wrong. Sometimes I feel like they see more than a normal unit. More than a normal unit. Oh, he actually double added move out. Oh my. Oh, I didn't realize he moved out with the adepts. It was so bad. Oh my gosh, what the hell is happening here? Click something. It's just so bad. Doesn't get much worse than that. My queen is also too late. I'm actually just gonna get the spore. I really don't want to lose the first oracle because I forget to make my queen. Oops, actually has that there. Actually a bit annoying, especially since I've only one queen here. That was a crazy shade. This game is just a complete mess again.
The hive cluster is under attack.
Even gets away with one adept. Are you kidding me? Where the hell are my queens at? Oh. Oh my gosh, it's so bad. It's so freaking garbage. The early game again. Like, I literally just can't play any early game in this matchup on stream. Like, it's so frustrating because I only play CVP and this game, MATLAB's like, it's always decided in the first 5 minutes. Always. And then it's just like, if I don't play it properly, it's always like this. It's like, I'm so far behind for no reason every game. I don't know why I went. No way he kills 3 drones while... I mean, this game's completely over. I lost like 30 drones when I should have lost 0. Okay, he did lose a lot of units and one oracle, so let's not get too salty yet. Well, I'm not salty, I'm just stating facts here. There's still time to get salty though, that's for sure. Staying on extremely low gas count because, I mean, I'm completely devastated. My eco is completely devastated, obviously. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably just gonna die to these stalkers, to be honest. Let's see if we can get some time with these lings, maybe.
The hive cluster is under attack. Our forces are under attack.
Okay, didn't get anything there, but he's actually not pushing a location here just yet. Like, this is just so bad. Like, and no creep as well. Like, it's just absolutely horrific game so far. Move that.
Game paused.
Absolutely horrific game. Everything that could have went wrong. I told you love playing CVP on stream. I used to like it, but nowadays everyone blocks and goes double adept. Like, it takes focus to play against that. And even if you don't, it's just like one mistake and you lose the game every time, so it's just... I mean, I don't have the numbers there, obviously, but... I need to drone up that base, I honestly, if I don't drone up anything here. Oh, it was far back there.
Metamorphosis complete. The hive cluster is
Guys, stop running to the front. Okay, now we have that at least, so that's something. That's actually really good. I got an oracle there. He wasn't paying attention. I just need to stabilize this situation. If you don't have the numbers, that's kind of the problem here. Also, all my creep queens on front. I'm actually gonna make 2 Ravagers.
depleted. Our forces are under attack.
So I'm just gonna run out of injects relatively soon here.
Mineral
There they go already. But yeah, him sacking the oracle, well, losing the oracle, not really sacking, that's the wrong way to put it, I guess.
depleted.
Gives me hope.
The hive cluster.
Okay, he's just taking a 5th now, that's not too fast, luckily.
Our forces are under attack.
Try to find the things.
Our forces are under attack.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the supply to deal with this, to be honest.
Are under attack.
Just too far behind from the start.
Our forces, the hive cluster is under attack.
My supply is erasing here. It's not too bad,
Our forces are under attack.
I guess. His army does become really crap. I have 60 drones as well. I'm actually gonna make a couple extras. His army does get really crap here, but his upgrades aren't even good. There is hope here after all these devastating losses. Okay. The infestation bit hive. Maybe even a second Evo here now. There's a little bit of hope here.
Our forces
If I had any creep, I wouldn't necessarily hate it as much, but I literally don't have any creep either. Okay, he has +2. It seems like he went
forces are under
pretty hard. Okay, that was a... I'm not sure if that was good. What's my +2 situation? Nowhere near even.
our forces.
Okay, he's constantly luckily sacking these zealots.
Forces are under attack. Mineral field depleted.
I don't think I killed the prism. Oh, there it is. Oh my. Oh my, I have no bailings. This is why you always need bailings. These zealots don't do anything if I have some bailings, but now because I don't have any zealots. Actually, this... The zealots did everything there. That was like the only thing that did damage in that fight. If I had 6 bailings, that would have been a really good fight for me again, but... Bit of a blunder not to have any.
Mineral
Obviously my eco is completely non-existent, so it's very likely I'll still lose, but... Okay, let's get offensive here. On the offense, I mean. Wait, what? How did they get there? Where did my supply go? Nah, just no creep. Let's get Atrain and go with that, I guess. He doesn't have good upgrades, that's for sure. I think if I just keep making links, maybe there is hope. This one War Prism is making my life so hard. Okay, now he actually sacked it. That's amazing. It actually gives me a lot of hope. I can get on the offense now. He's just too rich probably though. Where are my units at? I guess there's so many roaches. Just too many hands needed here. I can't keep up anymore with the zealots. Okay, I'm kinda dealing with everything here. Sadly, I'm getting outmined pretty hard. So that's a bit of a problem. Like, his army is way worse than mine is. But my army is very small, that's kind of thing here. Yeah, my army is just too small. It's actually really close there that I'm breaking him, but by a little bit more I could do it, but it's just a bit too little. Oops, oh my god, why am I sacking Bailings? I don't have that much money. Yeah, I mean, if I had a little bit better early game, this game would have been so easy, because it's even now close with me losing like 55 drones in early first 5 minutes. Obviously, it's just not good enough. Not good enough here. It's giving very good pressure here. Can't afford Bailings, which is kind of my biggest problem. Okay, nice. Okay. Links are really good against what he has, so that's good. Oh, now he has Archons. I'm gonna take my... Oops! Oh my... Okay. It's a really freaking close for no reason here. Yeah, but it's just not good enough. Very not good enough, actually. Still. Everything has been going my way, and his army is obviously absolute garbage, but my eco is just nowhere to be seen. And his eco is still really good, even though he's losing a lot of stuff. Yeah, he has actually no upgrades still. I took this base a bit faster. Just running out of steam here. I did remember to make that at least, so that's a good thing. Couple Bailings always, so I don't lose the 2 zealots. Get off gas. Oh, just lost it barely. Wow. Eco situation was already terrible. Okay, if he's not making Archons, there's always a little bit hope. I didn't do any Bailing Rumbles, by the way, the whole game. Ah, he has Archons. Maybe I could bring these roaches back. They're taking a lot of my supply. See here. It's going Coloss size. Oops, that was a big mistake. Yeah, not good enough. Oh, he's gonna GG out there. It's pointless to stay in it. Well, one terrible game as usual. It's just like every game. I played every game has been over after 5 minutes, like so far today. It's just terrible to play. I lost so many drones for no reason. Actually, he is also macroing poorly, so that's good for me. Maybe that's why it was a bit close. And with roaches as well. Yeah, I lost 16 drones. Like, it's literally unplayable. If he just played a little bit more aggressive with the first Stalkers, he would have just auto-won the game. There's nothing I can do with that start. Okay, let's see here. Oh, I'm just gonna make more links. I was thinking of making more links, but I didn't see the second adept run across the map. That was the problem. I thought he was gonna go kill the link that was in his main base, but he ignored it. So I didn't. So I ended up not making more links. That was a pointless game. Completely pointless. He didn't have any armor upgrades, so my links actually chewed through those Stalkers really nicely. If I got a little bit better, like a surround or something. That was actually a way for me to win that game if I played a bit better there. Because his army was kinda garbage for the most part. But obviously I just didn't have the numbers. Didn't have the numbers there to ever really kill him, his stuff. With a good early game, I just won with the first attack. Wait, how do I undo that? Not like that. Not even a good early game, just a decent early game. Especially on that map. On this map it's hard to kill. A bit harder to kill even if I was to get a good early game. But on that map I would always kill with the first attack, I think. Well, I'll just make a heaps of links early on here or instantly, so I don't lose to the adepts. Okay, let's see here. Okay, scrolling those. This is one of the weirder builds then, I guess. I have no clue. What is he doing? To be honest, I couldn't even tell if he started Warp Gate. Well, I guess he did. Or did he just... I guess that wouldn't make very much sense. He's actually making only one adept here, so now I'm actually already happy. Not gonna lose in the first 4 minutes this time at least. That was so bad by him. I could have killed it actually if I turned back in time. Well, I mean, wouldn't. A little bit bad at least. It's a little bit bad, but this wouldn't have been the end of the murder. That's already really good for me.
Metamorphosis complete.
No, it is a Stargate, an interesting he chronot then.
Our forces are under attack.
Or he just misclick accidentally. You never know. Make links here. Like now I'm having already more fun. And the game is still anyone's game. Let's just hope we don't die to the... Oh my god, my links didn't help. It's... Oh. It's not the terrible, but obviously that was bad. That was obviously bad, but it wasn't end of the bird that time. If my links weren't stuck, I would have barely lost anything there, actually. Oh, it's actually... I get in here. Going in is actually more often a trap than not. Especially with the two adepts coming across the map. Yeah. Because I don't have links for this crap now. I even saw the things go across. Okay. Okay, with the better... this is just going so bad again. This time it was just my fault massively. I could have like killed like everything already. All of his units could have died if I played a little bit better. Even that Oracle should have died there with proper queen movement, but obviously I didn't move my queens.
Unacceptable command.
Wait, what? Do I see 4 oracles? Or did I see incorrect? Was it just one here? No. Oh, it is 2. No, no, it's not. I'm just gonna play Hydra here if he plays the same crap style. I can actually just take it down with them. With 0 effort. It's not the prettiest early game, but it's way better than what it was in the previous game for sure. So it should be okay. Should be a pretty comfortable win for sure.
Our forces are under attack.
Creep so bad again. Oh, my 1+1 melee is really late actually, that's annoying. I was losing, that's annoying. Okay, I didn't lose it, that's good. Okay, that's unbreakable. Oh, I'm losing so many obvies. I'm gonna make couple drones in a moment. Just couple, I should have made them earlier, but... Actually, that's all I'm gonna make now. And just mass units here. And hope he doesn't make Colossus, I guess. Is my game plan.
Our forces are under attack. Our forces are under attack. Mutation complete.
It's 3 oracles. Oh my gosh, there was one more there. I didn't see. It was expensive. Literally every unit got stuck there.
Mineral field defeated.
Holy crap, I'm just gonna run past him actually in this case. No. Oh my god, what a throw of a match this has been. It's still okay, I think. I should still kill him, I think, but
Field depleted.
it was obviously awful. Those status traps were well placed, I'll give him that much. But that's all I'll give him. Okay, queens in alt in the same hotkey, so I don't mess up. those are the zealots. Let's try to hide the hydras for now. Oh my god, the prism is really bad for me. Oh my god, this is tough. Luckily I used this path. If he went the other way, I think it would have been really hard for me. Okay, it's my upgrade situation. Okay, let's see if he can... Actually, what should I do? I'm gonna get those bailings there. For the Zealot Rampai that is gonna always send... The queens should be... Oh crap, oh my, he actually... He's getting so lucky here. I'm gonna play with my monitor closed. Oh, it's just becoming me running behind him. If I didn't lose that base, I would have, I think, just out of on the game. But I might still win, but I don't think anymore because my eco is just too crap, quite frankly. My eco is just too crap, quite frankly. Like, I need to really destroy him here. I don't think I can do that. Okay, I did for the super battery there actually. Ah, never mind. I didn't see the prism. Oh, and no detection on the bottom. Yeah, that's really bad. GG. Okay, I actually failed there. He could have killed the base, but he didn't. Yeah, I'm just gonna get out. Oh my god. Let's see if I was winning. Let's see how many drones I lost. I lost 13 drones again, but it was still way better than last time. But obviously it's still 10 too many. Like losing 3 drones there is kinda always gonna happen. But obviously I lost 10 too many there. I still think I was winning for the most of the game. Giving the base air was the first big mistake. That wasn't a big deal. That like doesn't matter because he can't really. Also having no +1 here sucks. If I had to... Oh, I actually do have +1 already. Yeah, even this thing hits. Like, if this is if I kill all the Stalkers, I win as well. It's just got real lucky. Because I even had this Sling already sent here, but I was a bit too late with it. Well, that was really unfortunate. Actually, with those 4 Zealots, I'm not sure if I could have killed them. Zealots are so good. No, with 88 links, for sure I could have. But yeah, even here, I still think I should kill him. But yeah, then he moved on this side and killed my base. That's when I lost the game finally. I mean, this was just a terrible game as usual. No. Yeah, no way he holds anything. He could get like a Disruptor actually one. But that wouldn't be good enough. That wouldn't be good enough. Nice play, so frustrating to play against. Thanks for resub, Vandal009. Yeah, status wards are good, but they're not really that useful. Because they're like only useful with this style, but it's not really viable, so... Like, it just loses to Hydra Bane. Like, if I play that game a little bit better, he actually can't win. But, yeah, that's the kind of thing. I do think status wards behind the mineral lines are, like, decent, but they're not, like, that amazing there. Not that amazing there. Do you feel like you learn from each loss? Or only certain losses? There's very few losses I feel like I learned from. Like, there's nothing to learn from that loss, for example, or the previous one, or... These games, it's just very obvious mistakes. It's like literally not seeing his army come there and losing way too many drones to the initial at the start. It's just mainly very obvious mistakes. Like on paper I was just supposed to win there, but I just messed up a couple too many times and then I lost. It's that simple. CVP is all about getting good early game and just snowballing out of control instantly. Like 90% of CVPs in general are decided in the first 6 minutes. That's like when the game was already usually decided. Then it comes down to big mistakes after that usually. It's a very snowbally matchup in general. With very little comeback potential. Because I don't think like it's if Zerg gets a good early game, like a perfect early game, I actually don't think pros can. Like it's very hard to hold anything with pros. Like you'd have to play like really well defensively. And then the map would also have to be good for that. And then the same goes the other way around. I mean, there's always a little bit of comeback potential in StarCraft because people do a lot of mistakes, so it does happen, but on paper there wouldn't be much. Okay, instant warp gate this time. Okay, actually commit the instant warp gate as well. It's probably just Stalker second here. No, actually, was it an... I think it was an Adept. To be honest, I didn't watch. Could have been a Stalker, but I think if it was a Stalker, he would have hit the Overlord there. Probably. Like, this is where the games are decided usually. Like, that's how much damage does he do. Okay, one drone is still manageable. I did lose a lot of links, so these are like a really bad start, but it's not terrible. It's just really bad. It's not actually. I actually forgot my OB as well. Just bad, not awful. If I didn't lose that drone, just a couple links would have been fine, but drone is really expensive at this point of the game. Okay, I'm gonna stay on pretty low worker count since my opening wasn't the best. It's gonna die. Okay. To be honest, I don't think it's DTs here, but I guess it could be. I'd like to see how many adepts is warping. It's just 4. And I have no links whatsoever. That's a really bad supply block. I think I made an Ovi. Yeah, I did. Why is this dead here? This Ovi is not gonna finish that. No, I'm not dead here. It's actually... wasn't the best hold to start off with, but not dead just yet. It does give me kinda DT vibes, to be honest. I do have 2 spores still, though, that's good. Should go on droning though. Did lose a lot of queens as well, which is absolutely horrific. So you're gonna get the spore there in case there are DTs. Oops, that's really bad. Looks like 2 drones here for no freaking reason. Okay, just 1. No, I didn't chase the prison. That's so dumb.
The hive cluster is under attack.
So I'm just gonna do it like this instead. It's not the worst start ever. It's not the best play, but
Evolution.
okay, he has a decent spot there. Oops.
Our forces are under attack. The hive cluster is under attack. Mineral field. The hive cluster is under attack.
That there, get that there. Okay, he actually messed up really big time there. It was, he could have killed so... Oh, I forgot road speed. That's really bad. Actually, it just straight up means that my roads just can't deal with the disruptor drops at all.
Forces.
But obviously my links can do that, so...
Forces are under attack. Mineral field depleted.
Not the best situation, but... Oh my, why did I cancel it? What am I doing? I thought it was a different building for some reason. Oh my, now my freaking links aren't on my this side. I'm gonna lose the prison. Yeah, literally these roads just don't counter that flyer. It's actually going to my net. Maybe it's... I don't think that was enough roaches. You could have just...
Mutation complete.
You could have just dropped them. Yeah. Oh, that was 2 disrupt. Oh my god. I don't know why links were on the other side. That was an idiotic play by me. But... yeah, cancelling that was also a dumb play.
Mineral field depleted. Our forces.
Well, this whole game has been a bit of a mess, to be honest. I don't think there's any other way to put it. But it's still not horrific.
Our forces are under hive cluster.
Okay, nice warp in there. Oh my god, I run straight to it.
Our forces are under attack.
Can I just smash this? I wonder. Well, I did win the fight, but I was obviously after massive losses. When in reality I didn't have to lose anything than 2 links there. Just gonna do that. I do need... Okay, we need to run those there. Okay, we can't get that just yet. If the prism gets behind my base, it's a pretty much game over. There's no coming back from that.
The hive cluster is under attack. Our forces are under attack. Mutation complete.
I always say it, but just couple veilings. It's not that hard to have couple veilings everywhere. Because they definitely infinite amount of zealots. But oh my god, I didn't pay attention. I kinda lost track where that happened, to be honest.
Metamorphosis complete.
Okay, I have to do some sort of a push here, but obviously it's not the greatest push. Also my creeps.
Our forces
Okay, I'm just gonna send those across.
mineral field. Our forces are under attack. Mineral field depleted. Our forces are under attack. Mineral field metamorphosis.
Oh my god, this is so messy.
Evolution.
Okay, he did recall. Yeah, that should be just game over instantly. You can actually pull back from this. Use the links to get some extra time.
Our forces are under attack.
That was actually really bad by me. I don't have many lurkers, to be honest, which is kind of my problem here. Oops. Okay, he has just a couple bases. This is still doable, I would say. Just make more lurkers.
Cluster is under attack.
And get him back with probably his whole army with this little play.
Are under attack. Mutation complete.
But yeah, now the natural is open. Yeah, it does look like man is just winning now.
Evolution complete. Evolution complete. Evolution complete.
Freaking disruptor drops are so obnoxious. I don't know how they're still and not. Well, I'm not gonna say anything.
Mineral. Our forces are under attack.
I mean, if I get in a lock position with this army, he actually can't beat it. Absolutely can't beat it.
Our forces are under
No, maybe he can actually. That's a lot of Archons.
mineral field. Metamorphosis complete.
Actually faced at the disruptors as well.
Mineral field depleted. Our forces mineral field
Oh my gosh, did that just happen to me?
are under attack.
Okay, I didn't lose much there, but still, it was a bit of a horrendously late sequence by me.
Our forces are under attack. Mineral field depleted. Our forces are under attack. Our forces are under attack. Metamorphosis complete. The hive cluster is under attack. Our forces are under attack.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, an absolute free win at this point, but I have to say that CVP brings the burst out of me always. That's the magical ability. That's the magical ability to make me always a bit annoyed.
Mineral field depleted.
Oh crap, he has a lot of Archons. I guess he had a gas bank. Don't really have more. Well, I mean, it should be still fine, but Well, obviously this is fine. Game's completely over, but... Yeah. It's still maxed out there. Why did I just lose all my bailings? Now we have a couple still. For the Zealots. That was horrendous game. Well, obviously his build just wasn't the greatest. It was a completely fine start for me. Not the best, but it's just okay. No, my supply is actually completely garbage here. How is my supply so garbage anyways? I guess the disruptor drops just do so much damage. It's the only explanation there is to it. An annoying game, to be honest. Thanks for the sub, Fry Peach. And Cecil, bye. You look spent, what does that mean? To be honest, I'm pretty finished after that game. Our energies are completely drained. After those 3 games, to be honest, not that game specifically. Completely drained. Play for fun. The day I could play StarCraft for fun would be my happy day. I just can't do it. I just can't play StarCraft for fun. It's always... I'm trying my absolute hardest always. And it frustrates to me to the maximal quite often, to be honest. Thanks to the resub 117 Mercury. Okay. Trick are saving us from the 6-8 barcode cycle. Very nice, very nice. Okay, a little bit even out the breathing. Relax our body. Thanks for the sub, Axe Unknown. And Mr. Herrada. I think Hero Marine streams pretty late usually, doesn't he? I think he normally starts around the time I stop. Like this is around the time when he would usually start, I feel like. And this is around the time when I usually stop. When I every once in a stream, I mean. I don't do it too often anyways, so. Okay, just a relaxing game here. Let's see if he double chronos. She doesn't. Okay. Didn't really pay attention if he went for. Oops. Went for the warp gate instantly.
Metamorphosis complete.
Oh, he has a double added pressure here actually. Oh, that's a little bit bad target fire by me. Well, it's not bad. It is a little bit bad, but not awful. Oh, I'm actually making a lot of queens there. Couldn't afford all these queens to be honest. Making way too many of them. Okay, just don't know.
Forces are under attack.
Actually diving on the queen. He got a little bit unlucky to be honest that the spore had a range to hit the. Okay, that's really good for me already. Well, actually I did lose a lot of drones there to be honest, so maybe it's not as good as I thought. Still think one oracle kill is pretty nice. Kinda want to just do swarm host here to be honest. To relax my mind.
Evolution complete.
Just roaches from this point on. Oh, is he actually? That's actually scary. There's like one immortal in that prism. Does this have? No, it's very slight pressure actually. It's just a very slight pressure. I might be actually able to catch this. Well, I guess. That's pretty wishful thinking to be honest. Wait, what am I shooting? This obviously kinda stinks if he goes he goes double Ropo Colossus, that's just kinda loose for me. He does have a Ropo, but I'm not sure if he's going for. To be honest, even Stalker Disruptor will kinda beat me here. Not the greatest play to go for this comp, but whatever. Oops, I'm not running the gas.
Metamorphosis complete. The hive cluster is under attack.
See which base he took. Okay, there's a prism here, that's really good by him. Every time I see a prism, I know the Protoss is playing well. That's kinda... I think one of the things Max Pax does really well is he always makes the prism.
Forces are under attack.
Like just doing that's already really strong. The prism is just always a good play, I feel like. Okay, so he's getting a lot of time here, but I'm not losing much here, to be honest.
Our forces are under attack.
There's actually no way I'm breaking that, but actually already transitioning in that case, I guess. Let's get that as well. Oh, it's really expensive. Never mind.
Mineral field under attack.
Okay, I'm gonna try to snipe his natural here, which is a little bit risky. I could get stuck there, but I don't think so. Okay.
Our forces are under attack.
Yeah, if I can snipe this base, it's very much over. Game over instantly. Okay, I need to kill the battery if I want to do that. Okay, should have went for the probes in that case, I guess. He actually doesn't have this base, which... Well, he does have the base, obviously, but... Oh my gosh. Wasn't enough to one-shot it. It's actually a little bit scary, but he did lose that base, which is expensive for him for sure. Ugh. Okay, gonna put them a mineral and I kill that with that. Okay. Okay, I get the base. It's really good.
Metamorphosis complete.
Okay, his army is actually not very good. It has a couple of disruptors, which are the scary part, but besides that, it's actually not the greatest army ever. Okay, tries to go for that. Oh, nice save there. That's a very push here, that's not weak, but those with the help of those locusts it should be very easily held. That's just good enough, easily. See if he has a base. That's a lot of static D. Kinda is assuming he has that base, which he necessarily doesn't have, so then it's completely... I mean, to be honest, if he doesn't have the base, then it's over anyways. So I guess it's fine. Well, I mean, the game's over anyway, any base, to be honest. There's like no way to lose, I feel like, at this point. Okay. Oops. I know I'm playing so passive here, I feel like I could maybe edge out a little bit. Just gonna tap Archonus. He's keeping his ultra units pretty well in the safety, so... Oops, that's really bad for me, obviously. This is a bit awkward. I mean, this is technically never win, I feel like, at very least. If I would have just transition into bailings, I mean, I could have just made lurkers as well, but I think this bailing transition would have been really good here. Well, I guess he has storm, so maybe that's... he doesn't actually have storm, but I look at things. Yeah, nothing he could have done there, to be honest, after... Well, to be honest, I guess the start went actually pretty good for him. Thanks for Risa Fish Mob. Also thanks for the Risa Kieverton. Luis192 also subscribing, thank you for that. And Animus Gifter gifting out 5 subs, thank you for that. Thanks a lot, Animus Gifter. Dsmate385 subscribing, and Fallen Jurassic to give in 2 subs, thank you for that as well. Thanks to us up GW9592 and Derad Miral 23 and Hassle for me too, cheering 25 bits as well, thank you for that, seems good. 5. And he's sending me a greetings, says hi Nieblas Mancos. Well, I accidentally said it, but well, I just hope it doesn't mean anything bad. I didn't mean to actually say it before I checked what it means, but hey, try. Is there a reason why you always try your hardest? I mean, I don't know. I mean, just the way I am, I guess. I never really play. Well, I mean, I feel like everyone always tries their hardest somewhat. But no, I mean, I always try to get everything out of myself. Especially off stream, I would always say that I never play any like 90% games. I always go 100% with every match I play. Obviously on stream I would say it's the same thing, but obviously I'm way more distracted here, so I guess naturally it's gonna be less focused. You still playing Age of Empires? Not really. I did play it like once this month, but not really. Every once in a while, I guess you could say, but yeah. Do you ever lose because you think you won the game and go out of billet and lot regardless? Well, sometimes I guess. Sometimes. Not that often. I do sometimes get very reckless. Then I might lose after it. Thanks for the sub, Hoffahoff. Any comments on GSL Zerg not doing well? Are they not doing well? It's all are doing pretty decent. I think Dark's also doing pretty decent. He just has been losing in the online cups, but that's kind of the Dark thing anyways. No, I'm not going to find all the Koroks. Do you know Rail against 3 roads opening versus Terran? And if so, well, I don't know what this opening exactly is, but obviously I do know the 3 roach things or 4 roach things. I do know those builds, but I don't know what's his variation. So probably not. Probably not. I would say. No, actually, doesn't he go like 3 roaches and then he goes 2 base muta or something? If that's the build, then I would know it. I should probably call it here anyways. It's about the time I thought I would stop. Didn't play many games, but it's already so late. And I'm also mentally exhausted. Completely trained by the 3 games. Thanks Kalef 1415 for gifting a sub. Well, I guess I'll play one more. Guess I'll play one more then. A Zerg user. Well, that's fun. That's gonna be fun. Oh, this is Rainer. Yeah, I guess he actually did have this around this MMR account. I was thinking it was like Young Yakov or something, but if it's Rainer, then it's Rainer. But yeah, I'll end it after this one anyways. Win or lose. Still have a couple of things I have to do today. Thanks for resub, Loki Feel. The standard opening. I'm just gonna play it really standard here, not do anything special. Just have one little fun CVC here to end it all. I'm pretty sure he's gonna do exactly the same thing, but I guess we'll see. Where did his links go? Oh, he went back. I mean, he doesn't know if I have a bailing nest, but I do know if he has one, which he does. Gonna make like 8 defensive links here just to play it safe. Well, I guess that's like a bit on the lower side. That's not very many links, but it's a nice chunk. Oops, my link speed's a bit late. Well, I guess I did that intentionally, so... He actually made no links whatsoever. It's a bit ahead in workers in that case. No, he did make a couple more than I initially thought. But still pretty limited in the link count. Gonna plop that down. That's a terrible wall, isn't it? Yeah. He's also delaying the roach warren this much. He's cutting a lot of corners, or if he doesn't have a roach warren behind there. He would literally die to everything. Literally everything. Oops, didn't saturate that gas. To be honest, like, I didn't see a roach warren, so can it really even be an attack? How much do I even have to scout in this case? Wait, what? That's the latest warren I have ever seen. He's cutting some serious corners. It's probably a bit ahead, but obviously it's... my macro didn't slip too much or anything, so I'm not that far behind. It's just a little, very little difference for the most part. But yeah, he's playing standard as I figured out he would. He doesn't have the balls to... He knows I'm already annoyed, so he doesn't have the balls to actually extra annoy me. Well, if he makes a spire, he might be reaching a little bit, to be honest. Gonna lie, not gonna lie. Okay, double Evo. Okay, just gonna get everything in the front here. Never mind, he's actually going there. I should obviously also drop the zero reason to not, but the reason, quite frankly, is that I'm just a bit lazy. I didn't bother making one myself. Okay, so where is the drop lord going? Let's get that in there. Is he going through the edge? I'm actually gonna go roach speed and burrow instantly. I think these links have a lot of potential. Okay. Where is the Balin drop at? I'm a bit worried he's already behind my hair, like somewhere. That would kind of stink. Okay, that's really good for me. Okay, there it is. Oh, he found a blind spot. Well, only 6 drones. Considering, I don't know, he had like a really good pattern. He didn't actually see him coming. Okay, he's doing a little drop harass. He's playing it as you should. The dropper lord, no reason to not make them. The earth is always good. Queens are a bit messed up as well. Okay, let's put the mylly on. Okay. Oh, he's doing the same thing. That's terrible for me, actually. I think being defensive here is better. Yeah. Okay.
Our forces are under attack. Complete.
Oh, that was just a drop error actually. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Let's move those there. Those there. Those there. Oh, I didn't saturate my gas. Was that after the bailing drop or how long for I didn't do that?
Our forces are under attack.
I don't get in what earth would he have any timing here, to be honest, but... Okay...
Our forces are under attack.
Okay... Actually gonna have to kill these now.
Forces are under attack. Our forces are under attack.
Oh, he actually got me off guard, that's really bad. Why didn't have an overlord there? The problem is that this freaking Ramba is so massive. Oh, I'm running into my own vials. Yeah, if I didn't lose that base, that would have been a really good sequence for me, but because I lost the freaking base, that was absolutely horrendous.
Mutation. Our forces are under attack.
Okay. Actually, a bit awkward how am I taking this fight.
Our forces are under attack. Our forces are the high caster is under attack. Our forces are under attack.
Okay, it's a bit of a blunder there. Okay, he loses that. I'm actually gonna see if 50 we can get something going here with some proper timing. Actually, we had a pretty reasonable. Oops, those guys are just running.
Mineral. Our forces are under attack. Mineral field depleted. Our forces are under attack. Mineral field depleted.
I wonder how many drones he has, because I feel like he has so much more than I do. But maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe that's not the case at all.
Our forces are under attack.
But it does feel like I have less units all the time, and I have no drones myself. Okay, we should have been there actually, that's good.
Our forces are under
Okay, this is actually really good for me, I think. And dive these Ravagers. Oh my, I'm getting hit by the bile so hard.
Our forces are under attack. Our forces are under attack. Mutation complete.
It does seem like he's making Vipers,
Our forces are under
because his army is not growing somehow. Let's just nuke the base. Okay, I'm gonna make my own Vipers. Gonna get those lurks. Okay, he's trying to surround me. Which he's able to, which is kinda annoying, but... Okay, we're getting this base at least for our trouble. Got 2 Vipers there, which isn't shabby. Deny the gas mining. Oh crap. Oh my, this badly off position. Okay, shouldn't lose the base, which is the main. Interesting, he actually doesn't have Vipers. Like, I feel like he was way more poor than I thought the whole game, basically, because... It really does feel like... Because he had so much army the whole game somehow. Oops. I did lose all my Viper, those things. My Hydra up, everything, all the upgrades are done. Just gonna get this lurker here and annoy him. Get those 5 roaches here. Oh, don't lose the Vipers. Is that all he has, really? Okay, let's just dodge these piles and commit for it. I'm actually losing a lot of supply here. I don't think my eco is too good, actually. Actually gonna make some more drones here. Okay, he has Vipers now. I'm actually gonna chill a little bit in that case. I do lose the Viper battle with kind of stinks, but... Yeah, losing the Viper battle actually really hard stinks. Just gonna send 2 lurkers across. That's maybe a bit overkill. Let's not do it. Okay, he got that. Oh my, I'm messing up here. Luckily we have this base.
Mineral field depleted. Our forces are under attack.
Oops. Dumb misclick. Bit of an expensive run by at this point of the game, but it is what it is. I just want to grow my Viper count, but somehow I don't have the freaking... Okay, now we have a lot of Vipers, and we just get Lurkers. I think if I just get... If all of these units finish, I think I just win, to be honest. Okay, let's get that base. Looking that base wasn't that big of a deal for me. Okay, I got one there, but that was terrible micro, obviously. Could have gotten like all of them, I feel like. What's up with him burrowing all his armies? There's no way he thinks he's winning. It has to be a mistake. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can get the middle push here. This is so risky. Actually, I had those changelings, but I'm not getting information with them. Oh my. Yona, why did you give up all of that away? Why did I give all of that away? That was so bad. Yeah, I mean, I still win. By the looks of things. That was awful.
depleted.
This game is a bit of a clown fiesta at this point. He's obviously really dead here, so the fact that I hope he doesn't have this base actually, that would kinda ruin my day. Actually, it's that base.
Our forces are under attack. Mineral.
Okay, so nice try to get a fight there. He does have a decent amount of units, I'm not gonna lie.
Cluster is under attack.
I think that was just too expensive for him. Yeah, my lurker counts out off the roof, sir. Oh, that was a fun game at least. I didn't realize yet this base. He mined a little bit out of it. I wonder how little drones he had, to be honest, when did I lose the base? Because I feel like I didn't have any drones, but I was losing all the fights. But I'm not sure if I was getting hit that hard by the biles or... Oh, for the drone counts, we are very even here. My 3 more. So when I lost the base, it was pretty even. I guess I'm actually literally below in drones. That's pretty bad. No, he just felt like he had so much more, even though I should have more. I think big part of it is that he has just so many Ravagers. I think he had like way more before that fight. Because Ravagers look so much bigger, so they are a bit scary. Yeah, I have 4 more. But they actually had way more stuff there. He was actually winning at that point. But I did lose the base, so that makes sense. Nice game, and a perfect time to stop. Thanks for the resub, Loki feel. Big brain booms indeed. Not sure what happened there, but... But I'll do the usual. I'll do 1 minute and 30 seconds of ads and rate someone. I'll do one more stream next week before the Jönköping, but let's try to get one very positive stream next week. I just negativity is my second name nowadays, so need to get rid of it. But it is hard. It is hard. It is hard. But yeah. That's that, and thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time. How much did I actually play today? I didn't play that many. 8 games, 6-2, not too bad. Literally exact same MMR as we started, so 0 gained and 0 gains today, but that's okay. Let's put... How does this work again? Let's put this one on. And then put this one on, and bye-bye.